Hi, in today's session we will understand how to create our very first Ansible playbook and deploy it to target server. So for this demonstration, I'm going to use couple of modules like file module and user module. Basically, file module is responsible for doing all kind of file operations like creating files, deleting files or changing permissions, creating soft links and hard links and many more. And user module is something that we can do all user related operations like creating users, deleting users or adding or deleting the permissions. And apart from that, Ansible does support wide range of modules like cloud modules, server modules and application deployment modules and all this stuff. I'll show you the modules list at the end of this session, but before that let's get into the demo. I'm going to open browser and look at the Ansible module documentation. uh, I'll open a new window and Ansible file module. I'll open the first link. And docs.ansible.com is the official documentation in which you can find all the modules list. And this file module documentation explains how to use this Ansible module and example code, also the limitations. You can go through the synopsis to understand the uses and how to use it. And these are all the attributes that this module supports, and we will understand a bit more about it later. Let's get into the sample codes first. Ansible have provided wide range of examples in this documentation. You can pick the example based on your use case. So our use case is to create the empty file. So I'll look for the suitable code, touch file. As you can see, this code I can pick and remove unwanted code. And as you can see, this is used for changing the ownership and giving insecure permissions, creating symbolic link and hard link and many other use cases they have provided, like creating a directory as well, that this file module supports. Now let me copy this code, as we can use this code for creating a file. Navigate to my terminal, creating a file.yml, and the Ansible playbook starts with three hyphens and hyphen hosts. Here I am providing my host group name, web server. To understand how to create this host group, you can look at my previous video. Now tasks. Alright, this is where we will start all our Ansible tasks. Hyphen name, otherwise I can simply paste the code that I have copied, this one. And in the YAML we have to follow the indentation. Make sure you are following correct spacings in your code. Alright, so what it does, it will create a file. Touch means creating a file in Linux and using symbolic modes to set permissions equivalent to 0644. So I don't want to give any permission. So what I want to do, I want to delete this mode so that it will just create a file. I'll update the name. This we can provide of our choice, anything. So I'll provide like create file creation. Now let me save it. Now let's run this playbook and see if it will create any file or not. But before that, I want to create the file in a path slash home slash ubuntu slash file name is some test.txt file I want to create. Alright, I'm in slash home and ubuntu directory. In this directory I want to create test.txt file. So I don't have any test.txt file yet. Let me run this playbook with the command ansible hyphen playbook hyphen inventory file name. This is what the inventory file I have created, so I'm passing it. So this will take web server's host group name from this file. My script name is file.yml. Execute this. Now as you can see, file creation is changed, means it has created the file. Now let's check. There you go, we have got the file created. Now let's check user module. I'll go to the documentation again, search for Ansible user creation module, open the very first documentation, And you can go through this documentation to understand how to use this and uses of this user module and different attributes that it supports. Also look at some of the examples they have provided. So our use case is to create a user. Create a user John with home directory. So let's pick this code, and you can also go through all these examples to understand, like, how to use the code for removing users or adding some permission, something like that. And if you want to use additional attributes on top of it, you can go through this table and understand what are all the attributes that we can use and the default values. For example, remove, what it does, this only affects if state equal to absent. It attempts to remove directories associated with the user. The default is false. If we make it to true explicitly, then it will remove. So like that, you can go through all these attributes to understand the uses of each of these attribute. So for now, I'll simply copy this code and open my terminal, create a file called user.yml, pasting the code, sorry, hyphen 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 hosts, web server, and tasks. From here, I'll start my actual task. So again, indentation, otherwise it will fail. Okay, the user I want to create is some test user. Okay, and it will have a home directory created as well under home directory. Now saving this file, run the command again, Ansible -playbook and inventory file, then your Ansible playbook name. Some permissions denied. Okay, so we have to pass some additional permissions, like we have to pass sudo permissions. For that, I'll add something that become root. I'll look at the documentation, Ansible become root module. Let's see the example how to use it. Become true, so we have to use become true so that this will be executed as root user. I mean, it will use sudo. So become true, true or yes, yeah, it's true. Saving this file and run the playbook again. Now as you can see, the state has been changed, means our user has been created. Now let's check if the user has been created or not. So let's open this /etc password file, cat this file, test user. As you can see, this user has been created now with the home directory /home/test user. This is our username. Let me show you Ansible modules list. From the browser, search for Ansible modules list. Open the very first link, all modules. This will have list of Ansible modules that it supports. As you can see from the left side, cloud modules, clustering modules, command modules, crypto modules, database modules, file modules, all this stuff. So let me open one of the module, cloud module. In the cloud, we have Alibaba Cloud and Amazon Cloud, Azure Cloud, Atomic, DigitalOcean, and GCP, all these clouds that it supports, like Heroku and all. And apart from that, database automations, you can check the list of modules over here, and system related modules for any kind of in-server automations you can do with these modules. So like this, you can search for the module based on your requirement. That's all for this demo. Thank you.